Pag-IBIG Fund has just declared record high dividends for 2024. The dividend rates for its regular savings accounts climbed to 6.6%, while the agency's popular modified Pag-IBIG 2 or MP2 rates rose to 7.1%. Regular savings accounts are available to all Pag-IBIG members, whether self-employed or employed, while MP2 is a voluntary savings program. That means anyone who has accounts with Pag-IBIG will have earned those rates for last year. And this was made possible because Pag-IBIG earned a record 67.5 billion pesos in net income last year, 2024, driven by higher loans, collections, and investment returns. The agency is essentially returning 82% of its net income as dividends back to its members, marking the largest payout in the agency's history.
I love when we have good economic news. At this point, let's bring in our second guest. We've got Jacinto. He's Vice President of Pag-IBIG Fund. Good evening, Jack. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, and good evening, Regine, Sean, and Pauline.
I love the smile.
You are happy.
I know,
with
it's a big smile.
Your smile is also, it's not usual that we open an interview with a big smile.
Congratulations, 67.5 billion pesos in net income for 2024. That is a record for Pag-IBIG. I know we already said that it's due to higher loans, collections, and investment returns, but talk us through that. What exactly did you guys do differently?
Well, thank you. We did post a record high in terms of our net income in 2024, which reached 67.5 billion pesos. And this was due because of our very strong performance over the past year, particularly last year when we released also a record high amount in housing loans, which reached 130 billion pesos. And it helped over 90,000 of our members gain new or better homes. We also released over 70 billion pesos in cash loans, which in turn helped over 3.2 million members. And what's good also is that we posted the our highest performing loans ratio in terms of our housing loan portfolio, which reached 93.72%. So combining our strong performance with our prudent use of our funds, and of course our wise investments, we were able to post, as mentioned earlier, a record high in terms of net income.
So it's mostly driven by housing loans and cash loans. How is that possible that so many people took out loans last year? I mean, the BSPs only started cutting this year. Cutting rates, I mean.
Yes, annually, Pag-IBIG Fund does lend out more than 2 million members each year. But last year we were able to surpass the 3 million member mark by extending cash loans to over 3.2 million members, as I said earlier. And what's good about it is I would attribute it to our cash loans being easy to apply for. It's something that our members can apply for at any of our branches. They can apply it. They can apply for it online through our online service facility, the virtual Pag-IBIG. And of course, it's affordable. It has very friendly terms. So I suppose those are the reasons why we were able to buck the trend, and more members ran to Pag-IBIG Fund for their cash loan needs.
It's also kind of like weird to think about it, rates are so high, people keep complaining about high prices, and yet we see a lot of housing loans. I do know for a fact that a lot of Filipinos rely on Pag-IBIG to get base loans. Can you talk us through, Jack, how much easier perhaps the process has gotten? Because the usual story we hear is even when you go to government banks, it's like very, very difficult or challenging to get a loan, especially if you're just an average Joe with an average job. But I suppose this is not the case with you guys.
In terms of our housing loans, in terms of Pag-IBIG housing loans, where we were able to to lend out to over 90,000 members, yes, the process is much better. Um, because one, we have opened our online portal, our online service facility, the virtual Pag-IBIG, to accept housing loan applications, at least the initial step in applying for a housing loan. Secondly, all our branches nationwide can now accept housing loans from our members, and of course, we have strong partnerships with our accredited developers, so that all of these channels, all of these combine for us to provide better access to our members here and abroad, so that they may apply for our housing loans more conveniently.
I'm curious about your NPL. How are non-performing loans with Pag-IBIG? How does that look like? Is the number small?
Oh, we have. Thank you for asking, because it's the key to our sustainability and as well as to our profitability. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our members, particularly our housing loan borrowers, for keeping their accounts up to date. Because last year, we posted the highest performing loans ratio in our 44-year history. It went up to as high as 93.72%, which means that more than 9 out of 10 members, 10 housing loan borrowers, pay their housing loans on time. And it's very important for us to maintain this, because it ensures our sustainability. Because after all, the funds that we collect from our member savings and from the loan payments of our borrowers are again used so that more members can secure loans from our programs. So it's something that we really look and monitor closely, and we're very happy to report that it did reach the highest mark in our history, and it shows the quality of our portfolio, and it also shows that we have been managing the Filipino Workers Fund very prudently.
Ang galing niyo naman mag-collect, Jack. Maybe the other government agencies should take a leaf from your book.
I know.
93.72% borrower return rate.
That's crazy. Is that how you were able to afford to give back 82% of 67.5 billion pesos as dividends to your depositors? Would that be like the secret
Partly,
ingredient?
yes. That is a big part of why we were able to post our highest net income in our history, which reached over 67 billion. Yes, of course. The performing loans ratio that we had, the high performing loans ratio that we had helped us gain that level of income. Of course, aside from the fact that we were very prudent. In other words, matipid, lalo kaming nakapagtipid last year on our expenses, which further drove our net income higher.
Well, Jack, just going back to the MP2 fund, I mean, a lot of people were really happy when they received their dividends this year, including my parents. I remember them telling me 5 years ago, you need to invest here in MP2 because it's low
Did you
risk.
invest?
I didn't.
We were talking about
Okay.
this,
This, right? But there goes my question. For those who still want to, get into this investment, what are the steps and the requirements?
It's very easy, and thank you to your parents for trusting in Pag-IBIG Fund. They are part of the we have nearly 17 million active Pag-IBIG Fund members, and over 1 million of them have MP2 savings accounts. So thank you. And as to your question, it's very easy. It's very easy to apply and open an account under our MP2 savings. You can do so online. What's important and what we require is that you are Pag-IBIG Fund members, you are actively contributing Pag-IBIG Fund members, or if you have already retired and you are already earning a pension, you can still open an MP2 savings account. And how? You can do so online via virtual Pag-IBIG. And you may also apply and enroll at any of our Pag-IBIG Fund branches. And after getting your MP2 savings account, you can also easily save in the program because the minimum amount that you need to save in the MP2 savings is just 500 pesos. So each time you remit, it has to be at least 500 pesos, and there may be months that you may not be able to remit. It's fine, but overall, what makes it very, very attractive, what we believe is makes it attractive is because, of course, it earns very competitive rates, which, by the way, in 2024, we were able to top the rates of 2023. And again, it's easy to save. It's very, very easy to save in the program because what we really want is more Filipino workers to save and to find and to recognize the value of saving because saving is important for their respective futures.
But I think what may turn off some people is the 5-year lock-in period, meaning you can't pull out that money in those 5 years. Is that something that you might change in the future, or perhaps introduce another product that's of shorter lock-in period?
What's good with that, on the other hand, is that we have enhanced the program where MP2 savers can receive their dividends on an annual basis. So while their principal savings is with us for 5 years, they can opt to receive their annual dividends on an annual basis, on a yearly basis. So it's something that they can use. In fact, our CEO Manang Malen Acosta has this term. She calls it Lodi. She hopes that more and more members would become LODIs, or those living on dividends from the earnings of their savings with Pag-IBIG funds.
Pero yung 5 years, you're not going to change that. 5
I
years.
guess it has something to do with the returns also, no? Yung lock-in period that goes into the math.
You won't be able to change that.
Yes, but just in case, no, for members who may have emergencies that require that would force them. I hope it doesn't happen, no? But if there are emergencies for our members, certain occurrences that would need them to withdraw their MP2 savings, it's also allowed.
Okay. You also have regular savings accounts, right? We're so focused on MP2, but actually I was looking at the dividend return of the regular savings, 6.6% versus 7.1. It's not that far off for a regular savings account. Can you talk us through that account, that version of the account, or that savings account, and whether there's also certain lock-in periods? I'm assuming this is more like a normal savings account or deposit account.
Yes, you are correct. The Pag-IBIG regular savings is the one that's mandated by law. It's the contributions of our members, whether they're employed members, public servants, self-employed individuals, OFWs, those from the informal sector. That is the contribution, their mandated contributions, which for employed individuals is matched by a corresponding counterpart contribution from their employer. At this time, the contributions, the monthly savings of our members is at 200 pesos per month, which is then matched by another 200 pesos by their employers. And yes, that's correct. It has a maturity period of 20 years, but it is from these savings, from their collective savings, that we are able to draw, from which we are able to draw their benefits from. That includes their multipurpose loans, their housing loans, and while their regular savings, their contributions is with us, then yes, it earns annual dividends, which last year reached 6.6%. What's also, if I may add, what's also good is that there are many members who not only contributed 200 pesos as part of their regular savings, seeing and appreciating that our regular savings also grow and earn competitive rates, they decided to add on their mandated contribution. So hindi sila nagsettle sa 200 pesos, no? So dinagdagan nila yung 200 pesos, and in fact the collective savings from members who upgraded their regular savings reached around 10 billion pesos. So again, it's good news, and it shows the trust of our members with Pag-IBIG.
So what's the outlook for this year? Of course, I went on Reddit just to see what people would say about MP2, like from a couple of years ago. They're saying, one of the big warnings there is, hey, the returns do change from year to year, but then was another person who said, but it kind of like
So far,
just
it's been
plays
on the
around.
uptrend.
Yeah, and it's also playing around like 6 to 8%. Can you confirm that, Jack? And also, like you said, no, Miss Malen Acosta, your chief there in Pag-IBIG, she is targeting another 1.5 million new members for 2025.
Yes, that is correct. That is why, while it's already 8:30 in the evening, I'm still in the office because we're working towards that. No, but seriously, yes, it's our responsibility to our members to make sure that the funds that they save and they entrust with us earn the highest. It's something that we at Pag-IBIG Fund really are proud of because we are able to maintain our interest rates on our housing loans low. In fact, it remains at its lowest, which is up to as low as 5.75% per annum, while keeping the earnings of our members high. So mababa yung interest sa pautang, pero sa ipon mas mataas. So that is something that we target every year. And in terms of the rates of our dividend rates and our MP2 return rates, it all boils down to our performance. If we perform well, if we gain high net income, if we're able to grow our business, meaning if we are able to reach out to more members and extend loans and to collect and maintain the quality of our portfolio, then it's something that would result very well in terms of the dividends and the returns that our members should expect.